Hello all and welcome to the start of a new series here on the channel, the F1 2010 career mode, and for this first season we're going to be driving for the Sauber F1 team. Our teammate for this year is going to be Kamui Kobayashi. Now this first episode I'm doing in post commentary just because my OBS has been playing up recently and I've only just fixed it and I don't want to do live commentary and it's breaking it again. But the first race is going to be here at the Bahrain International Circuit on the endurance layout of the track. It's what they use in 2010. And as you can see, I'm heading for my first final lap. I'd say the main issue I have with the car really is that in a straight line, there's just no speed. The AI are ridiculous in a straight line, even the lower end teams like the HRTs and the Team Lotus cars. Coming out of turn 3 here, you'll see I have half spin, I managed to correct it, and we go onto the endurance layout now of the track. I absolutely love it, I love how fast and flowing it is. But as you can see, I'm going to brake way too late, cut the corner and invalidate the lap, so I'm going to have to go again and do a proper flying lap. Now, coming on to the end of the first proper flying lap, I managed to do it cleanly, sort of. It was a bit scruffy, however there was a very obvious lack of pace as I qualify last for the time being, even slower than the HRT of Bruno Senna, so we're going to have to do another lap, hopefully try and improve. And on the next lap I managed to find about just over 2 seconds quicker, but as you'll see we didn't really improve by much. We only managed to get into 21st ahead of Sebastian Buemi and behind Jaime Alguersuari, separating the two Toro Rossos. Now, as we are about to start our final lap, Karun Chandok is in the way in the HRT. The HRT a much slower car, but you'll see that it doesn't actually get out of the way even though we're faster, even though it does pull away in the straight. This was quite annoying, but hopefully we can try and improve despite being behind Chandok, because he will pull away in the straight, because the AI in this game is just so fast on the straight, it is ridiculous. In hindsight, looking back, I probably should have gone with a lower downforce setup, but as you can see on the run up to turn 3, you'll see how early the AI brake. I brake much later than Chandok. Almost, well, not actually nowhere near hitting the back of him actually, now I'm rewatching the footage, but in the endurance layout we're going to send it round the outside of Chandok, we're going to go deep. Bear in mind this is in qualifying. Chandok tries to overtake us again, I try and overtake him, I go wide, and then I get a penalty for corner cutting on the outside of the corner, which is going to unfortunately end our qualifying. I mean, we're going to qualify 20 seconds for our debut for Sauber. So at the end of qualifying, we qualify in P22, separating the two Toro Rossos. Our teammate of Kamui Kobayashi qualifies 15th, which is where we should have been, but the top 3 is going to be Jenson Button, Mark Webber and Lewis Hamilton, followed by Alonso, Massa, Rosberg, Vettel, Petrov, Schumacher and Kubica, rounding out the top 10. Let's get straight into this race. This is going to be our strategy for the race. We're going to stop on lap 3 for the prime tyres and then go to the end. The options were much faster than the primes. We're only doing a 10 lap race just because it is the beginning of a new series and I don't know how much you guys will enjoy it. But let's get straight to the track. So here we are on the grid, ready to make our debut for Sauber, waiting for the 5 red lights, and away we go. Here for the start of the 2010 Bahrain Grand Prix. We don't have a good start at all. Sebastian Buemi on our left gets a brilliant start. So does Bruno Senna behind. We're going to move to the inside and then we're going to lunge it into turn 1, past the two Toro Rossos. We somehow make the corner, we don't go off the circuit. We're going to go past Timo Glock and unfortunately not get past Heikki Kovalainen. However, as you'll see in turn 3, all the AI are just so slow. So we're going to send it round the outside of Kovalainen, Hulkenberg, and almost Lucas Di Grassi. We nearly get past him too, however we don't. Into the endurance layout of the circuit, we're going to try round the outside of Di Grassi, and we do. And then down the inside of Kamui Kobayashi, our teammate, we nearly make contact. However, we don't. We're going to get boxed in behind Barrichello as well. We get past Kobayashi, try and get past Rubens as well. Unfortunately, we don't make the move stick, but then we do, as he almost goes wide and nearly hits us. On to lap 2, we've got Jarno Trulli ahead. We're going to try and make a move round the outside, but he's just a bit more confident on the brakes than me. We don't have a good run out of turn 1 and turn 2, but is just like last lap, turn 3. That is the corner where you can get past most drivers. It's where they're definitely the weakest. We go down the inside with Jarno Trulli, make a brilliant move, and look who is ahead of us. Karun Chandok, the driver that screwed us over in qualifying. And we're going to go round the outside of Chandok, somehow make the move stick, and now we have 7-time champion Michael Schumacher ahead. Obviously Schumacher in the Mercedes, he should be a fair bit quicker than us, but as you can see, the tyres are already showing up yellow on the display. But oh, we hit Schumacher there. I kind of went into the back of him, he kind of turned into my racing line. I'd say that was 50-50, to be quite honest, and into the hairpin. We're going to send it down the inside of Michael Schumacher and manage to get P12. However, down the next straight, as you can see, Michael Schumacher, he gets a brilliant run, he goes down the inside, manages to make the move stick. However, we get a really good exit out of the corner, we manage to hang it around the outside of the Mercedes into the next complex of corners, somehow making a move stick, and we managed to get past Michael Schumacher in what I think was probably my best overtake in the entire race. But at the end of this lap, we're going to come in for our pit stop onto the primes. We're actually going too fast into the pit box, we have to be pushed back a bit by the jackman, so very sorry for hitting you, pal. But we're actually going to come out in last place. However, we do manage to jump Nico Hulkenberg, one of the Team Lotus cars, a HRT, and actually no, one of the Marussia cars. Actually, but for some reason my pit limiter won't come off, it won't turn off. So Hulkenberg appears behind us. For some reason he's ghosted. I don't really know why this happened. He gets past us, but we get past back him anyway. And we're gonna try and catch up to Michael Schumacher, who has managed to overcut us during that pit stop. As we start lap 4, a lot of drivers begin to make their pit stops. I'm pretty sure Schumacher made a stop as well at this point, because we managed to jump up to P18. As one of the Team Lotus cars comes out of the pits, we go wide as we lock up its Jarno Trulli, and obviously he will cause the infamous Jarno Trulli train. If you know, you know. On the run up to turn 3, we've got Rob Kubica ahead in the Renault, who's also just come out of the pit lane. He brakes really early, we brake really late, and because of this we managed to get really close to him into the beginning of the endurance layout. He almost loses the back end of the car, so we send it around the outside, and we nearly get past Adrian Sutil as well in the Force India, but we go a bit wide again, where we went off in qualifying. Unfortunately, don't make the move stick. And coming into turns 9 and 10, I thought, you know what, I'm going to go for a bit of an outrageous overtake. You never see overtakes in that complex of corners, usually. But we managed to make it stick, we managed to get past the Force India, and it puts us into P16. However, he's going to try and get the run back on us. And he's going to give us a bit of a taste of our own medicine. He actually kind of forces me to go out a bit wide, or we would have made contact there. And he gets back into P16 in a very fun and engaging battle. Now, as we get halfway into the race, we're going to come across a big group of cars with somehow being overcut by Timo Glock. How that's happened, I don't know. It's actually quite embarrassing, to be completely honest with y'all. But we're going to get a really good run on him into turn 3. He's weaving all over the shop like a madman, all over the track. And we get past him. We almost go into the back of Adrian Sutil there. Really lucky not to hit him and get some damage on the front wing. But in the endurance layout, we have so much more speed compared to the AI, as we actually do hit the back of him as we lock up the front left. Somehow no damage. We only get a warning, luckily enough. And we do touch wheels there. It's a really fun battle, and we managed to get past the Force India driver. As we begin lap 6, we've got who is this coming out of the pit lane? It is Jaime Alguersuari. I could not tell who that was for the life of me there. We managed to get past him going into turn 1 as we head up to turn 3. We've still got Rubens Barrichello ahead of us, but we're just so much faster. We nearly spin the car, managed to correct it there, managed to catch the car, nearly spin out again in 2 consecutive corners. How I did not spin off the track, I don't know, but as you can see, we've got so much more speed than Barrichello. We're going to go down the inside, we make contact, I touch the side pod, we go down the inside with a very brave move as he gets stuck onto my car, and he actually gets spun round. We're going to head straight into the replay to have a look at that. We'll go a live inquiry, live investigation, see who was at fault. To be honest, I do think it was me. I didn't particularly give the Williams any room, but we still managed to get ahead of him, which I guess is a good thing, but we were very lucky to not get a penalty. As we come on to lap 7, we've got Jenson Button in the McLaren. He's made a late pit stop, obviously on the alternate strategy. He comes out the pit lane. We managed to defend into turn 1. We managed to maintain the position, but it's going to be extremely difficult to keep the McLaren behind. Obviously, the McLaren was like the second fastest car in 2010. Was it the second fastest car? Yeah, it probably was. But anyway, we're going to be heading onto the endurance layout now. We've got the HRT of Bruno Senna ahead. He's obviously had a really good race to get into the points. In HRT's first race, obviously that didn't happen in real life. But it is happening currently right now in this universe. As I'm trying to get past him, I can't find a way past the Brazilian. I go down the inside. I love making overtakes at that corner. The AI always go a little bit wide. You can just about squeeze through. And we managed to make the move stick into P9, and we've got Felipe Massa in the Ferrari ahead of us. Lap 8 now, and I'm going to do to Massa exactly what I did to Adrian Sutil, but a lot later into turn 10. I managed to get alongside the Ferrari, however, it just isn't enough to get past him. Obviously, the Ferrari, one of the fastest cars on the grid, much quicker than us in a straight line. Massa, he goes defensive into the corner. However, as you can see, we somehow managed to get a brilliant run, and we managed to dive down the inside. Well, I was thinking about diving down the inside. Actually, don't dive down the inside. So this is going to head onto the next straight and onto the main straight. We're really close to the Brazilian. If we could get past him, that would be really great. Obviously, at this point in the race, Kamui was in P7, so 7th and 8th. You know, for Sauber of all teams, that is like a miracle, okay? That is a really good result. But as you can see, the Ferrari, so much faster than us in the straight line. Jensen button behind. He also did get past Bruno Senna, so unfortunately, the HRT isn't going to score any points in this race. And we're just going to try and keep up with Felipe, hopefully make the move stick. As we head into the endurance layout of the track, we're so close to Felipe Massa. We send it around the outside. We make a brilliant move on the Ferrari to secure P8, which, considering the fact we started in 22nd, is honestly a really good comeback drive. We still do have a lap and a half to keep Massa behind. We've also got Kobayashi ahead, our teammate. Bit of a shame we're not ahead of him, and we're probably not going to catch him because he's about 4 seconds ahead at this point in the race. But now we just need to try and bring it home. As we head onto the final lap of the race, Massa was absolutely breathing down my neck. I go defensive into turn 1, try and keep my position. However, I brake way too late and I just can't get the car rotated. Massa dives down the inside. At this point, Button, we don't need to worry about him. We're going to finish in the points regardless of what happens here. Massa pulls away, but it's this corner, the AI, they just brake so much earlier than what you can as a player. And we send it round the outside of the Ferrari. We're going to secure the P8. Kamui is going to secure the P7. Fernando Alonso is going to win the 2010 Bahrain Grand Prix. And we get P8 on our debut for Sauber.
Great result, mate. That's our first points on the board.
So after that rather exciting race, I think we can be really happy with the points that we managed to score. But the top 3 is Alonso, Liuzzi and Petrov. Liuzzi and Petrov both having incredible races in midfield cars. So that was honestly a really big surprise to see those two on the podium. Obviously Alonso winning in the Ferrari. Senna 11th in the HRT, good result. Good result for Timo Glock. However, Sebastian Vettel in the Red Bull only manages a P16. Michael Schumacher only a P18. So a lot of the top teams kind of underperforming at the start of the season, kind of similar to what we saw in 2009. A lot of the teams from 2008, Ferrari and McLaren, underperformed that year, and teams such as Braun and Red Bull managed to step up. But in the Drivers' Championship, obviously we're going to be 8th because that's where we're finishing the race. We got 4 points, Kamui got 6 points. That is going to put us in 6th position in the Constructors, tied with Mercedes, but also ahead of McLaren, which I think is a really good way to kick off this series. If you guys have enjoyed, please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next episode where we go to Australia.